All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over. Be loud.
First question.
I'm going to, Ms. Montgomery, before we start, can you just tell them very quickly who you are and what you do for Atlanta Public Schools?
Yes. So I'm the assistant superintendent for student services. So I have a couple of different things that fall kind of under my wheelhouse. Any kids that need academic interventions, like in reading or math, if they need a little extra help. Sometimes kids need extra help with their behavior. So we help with that. Mental health, which I'm sure you guys have talked about some. We help and make sure everyone's supported with that. If anybody gets in big trouble, they do come to us too, but hopefully I will never see you guys in that area. We also have the Hub building, which we have a store over there, which I think we can definitely talk about today, and I can tell you more about that. But that is, we have nurses, we have the social workers. They all are people that I support.
All right.
Can I get y'all's names so I know who's who?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and introduce ourselves from the left to the right.
Okay. So my name is Lucas.
Loud.
My name is Justice, and my name is Jack.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. So our first question is, what does the Hub do to support families living within poverty in the APS?
So yeah, we do all kinds of things. So the first thing that we do is we do have a lot of events. So for example, with someone in Atlanta that works in like the court system, 2 weekends ago, we had a community baby shower. So lots of families came over and got things like diapers and car seats and books and clothes, and learned about what they can do for new moms that have babies. We do other events, like we help people get jobs and get connected to housing and housing support, people that don't have homes or that don't have permanent homes. We also help, we have a store over there. So any family that is connected with Atlanta Public Schools, whether that be a grandma or mom or dad or neighbor or students themselves, when we're talking about big kids, they come over and they can get something from they can get a bag from our grocery store. So we've got kind of like a mini grocery store over there, and they can come once a week and get 2 bags of groceries. And then we also have clothes. Some schools that have uniforms, we have uniforms, socks, underwear, shoes, belts. Then we also have personal hygiene items. So that's like shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, hair ties, and anything you could really need there. And then things to clean your house. So laundry detergent, that actually gets, that's probably the thing we need the very, very most, is families really do need laundry detergent to keep their clothes clean. That we have dish soap, trash bags. You know, that'd be terrible if you didn't have trash bags at home. What would you do with everything? So they come over and visit the store, and we have those different departments that they can take things. And then we also have events too to help out.
Great.
That was a lot of information.
We're going to go back to your recording and take our notes after. So thank you. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So our second question is, how many people do you see each week? And have you seen an increase in students living in poverty within APS or needing support?
So week to week is a little bit different. We usually see anywhere from 30 to 50 people. But when we have our events, like at the community baby shower, I think the final count was a little over 160. The job fair was a little over 170. So we can see anywhere from 200 people to regularly like 30 to 50. It just kind of depends on what we have going on. Yes, we definitely are starting to see more people. I'm sure you hear your parents talking about it. The grocery store is getting very expensive. A thing of laundry detergent's $20. I mean, that can be 2 or 3 hours of work for people. So we definitely are seeing more people in more need for more stuff to support their house.
This is our third question. What are the root causes and contributing factors of poverty in urban communities like Atlanta?
That's a great question, guys. So what we hear the most from families is the cost of housing. So to rent is getting very, very expensive every month. And then to buy a house is extremely expensive. So as housing and rent gets more expensive in Atlanta, it's harder for people to continue to pay their bills. And also places that, the rent is cheaper, maybe isn't as safe, or have as many positive things going on as other places. So the cost of housing really is hard, and then good paying jobs. Teachers are starting to make more money, nurses are starting to make more money, but the people that work at the stores, or drive the MARTA buses, or they just don't make that much money to be able to pay for how expensive housing is and how expensive it is at the grocery store.
Our fourth question is, what are the groups of people most affected by poverty in Atlanta, and the social and historical reasons why?
That's a really good question. And I will tell you, this question actually is why we put the hub where we put it. So it's over on the west side with lots of families that have been there for generations and generations. And it gets harder because taxes get more expensive. So even if you own your house, you still have to pay the city and the government. And the more your house is worth, the more you have to pay those taxes. So it's really hard for people to stay in their homes in Atlanta, but the city council and city government's trying to do a really good job to try and keep people in their houses. Because if someone, I'll tell you, even where I live in the city, we have a very nice house, and the house beside us is an older home built in like the 40s. And unfortunately, the family that lives there, they've been there for a long time, but now they can, the dirt is worth so much money that a man's going to come in and build up a big house and sell it. So that's called gentrification, and it's happening all over the city. So it's hard for people to stay in their homes, even if they do own them. We definitely see that on the everywhere that the Beltline is. Have you guys ever been to the Beltline?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything kind of around where the Beltline is getting really expensive, but so people kind of make the best decisions for their families and see if they can afford to stay there. So that definitely is contributing a lot to the changes that we're seeing in the city. Certainly, we see more poverty with our families that have been in Atlanta for a long time that are African American. That it's just getting harder. And that's for all kinds of historical reasons. And then also we're seeing more of our Hispanic families coming to the city and having a hard time being able to stay and afford it. So moving out to areas like DeKalb, and in different directions. Families are moving to Clayton County down by the airport. The city's getting so expensive that people that can't afford it start to move out of the city in all directions. That's a tough question. Good job.
Jack, ask our last question.
How can we help fight poverty in the city of Atlanta and APS?
So I'm going to tell you things that we do that we can always use help with. So we at the hub, we have an Amazon wish list that people can buy things off of, and some things are very inexpensive, some things aren't. But then they come straight to us and we get them straight to families. So we have a store, we have volunteers, some kids from some adults from Morningside came over this summer. We're going to have some opportunities for kids to come too and help us just keep things stocked and keep things looking nice. We try to make it really feel like a department store so people feel good about coming and getting things from the store. So you can always help us over there with other kids that go to APS. But there's all kinds of things you can do in the city, even things as small as getting a group of friends together and making little care bags with some tissues and hand sanitizer and toothbrushes in and giving them out to the people that you sometimes see on the corners that might be homeless. Sometimes they just need a little bag of things that they can help take care of themselves. So there's lots of programs out there. If you guys want to go further, or as you go to middle school and want to help me organize some things, I would love your help. And sometimes even just once you get social media and your parents have social media, sharing out all the things that we have to offer to our families. Sometimes we have a hard time getting the information to people that need it because they're so busy working so hard and trying to make it all work. But those are two things I would say. Help us out at the store, and then making little care bags for people that are homeless that you see out there. Those are some ways you can do it. But we look at it as you can donate your time or you can donate your money, and we have opportunities for both. Another great place to volunteer is like the Atlanta Community Food Bank. They do amazing work, and they have a giant warehouse, and they help all of us get food to our families too. So happy to brainstorm that too. I would say your local churches and faith-based organizations usually have pretty good programs too. So if you have a church around the corner, or if you go to church, you may want to ask them what they do to help out the community. But those, even donating your old stuff, clean those closets out, take your bikes, take them to the shelters. And I can give you guys a list of those too for places that give away those things. But cleaning out your house can really help too.
Okay. Ms. Montgomery, thank you so much. I learned a lot during that as well. I know they did. We are the next steps are we'll listen to the recording and take some careful notes, and then we're going to put together a bit of an action plan, kind of something that we can do, whether it's donate, like you said, go through our closets. The care kits are awesome, or something to do with the hub. So we'll be in touch, but we really appreciate you taking the time. And what do we say, guys? And that, just again, tell us your names one more time.
Yes.
I'm Justice.
And I'm Jack.
All right.
See the final project.
Well, we'll invite you. We'll do a big exhibition showcase at Morris Brandon, kind of the last week of school, and all of our fifth graders will present their action projects and what they research. So you're welcome to try and stop by. I'll send you the invite.
Yeah, please.
All right. Awesome. Take care. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye. What do you say? Pretty good, huh? You learned a lot. I'm going to stop the recording.